Okay, we now turn our attention to list methods those are functions that are defined on the list to do useful things for us. But second thing we're going to be looking at is how we can get more information on the list, which is perhaps more important than how we can use the individual elements. So the first one we want to look at is the append method. So append method there will allow us to add elements to an existing list. So let us say, let's look back at the list we've been using so far. So we have a list called X there, and you can see that we have three elements to list. We have three elements to this list. Suppose we want to add a new element in this list. We want to mutate the list, we want to increase it. So it turns out that we can use the append method, and that's how we use it. We use a dot operation there. I'm just going to append 45 to this list. So let's look at what's happening here. We're saying x dot append 45, and append will add the element that is sent to the list that we're calling the method on. In this case, it's the list x. So after calling append 45, if we now print x, we notice that 45 is now inserted, and it's inserted at the end of the list there. So that's how we use the append operation. If you notice now, append will mutate the list. It will change the state of the list. Okay. So we have various list methods. We have insert, we have sort, we have count, extend. We have a lot of methods defined on lists. But more important than just showing you them now, let me show you how we can get information on the list and how we can use this information. So in a previous video, I explained how we can use the help function. And I'm just using the help function here. So I'm using the help, and I want more information on the list basically. So when we say help with list, we can see a lot of information on the screen here. I'm just going to scroll up to explain what is here. Okay, so this is help on a class list and module built in. So list is a built-in data type. The name of the class is list. And here we can see this is the constructor function. We'll talk more about that when we look at classes in chapter 9. And we have some methods defined here. Normally the methods that start with the 2 underscores, we normally don't use those methods. We allow the list to use those internally. And there's good reason for us not to try to use them. Okay. So for now, we try to avoid those. So these are the methods that we're really keen in understanding. So we looked at append earlier, and let's look at the syntax for append. It is saying L here is the list dot append object. There's no return type, and it will just append an object to the end. So right here and then we're getting all the information we need on the append method. We have other methods such as clear, remove all the items from the list. We can copy, a shadow copy of the list. We can use count, we can use extend, index, insert, pop, remove. A lot of operations defined on the list there. I'm just going to show you how we can use pop and sort, okay? And then I'll leave the others for you to experiment with. So pop here will remove and return items at index, and then the default is the last element here. Okay, look at how we use it. L.pop, this is optional, the index is optional. Okay, let's see how we can use the pop operation there. So let's remind ourselves of the state of list X. It turns out that we can simply say x.pop, and we're expecting to remove all the item, to remove and return an item at a given index. In this case, we're not sending an index, so the default is the last value there. So we're expecting to return item 45, and now if we print the list X, we notice that 45 is removed from the list. Let's pop another item from the list. So we're popping 3. Now we return, we notice we only have 1 and 25. This list is quite short, so let's add some items to it. So clearly we use the append method. Let's append 23, and let's append another item to the list. Let's append, say, 67. Appending 67. Print the state of the list. We have 4 elements in the list. Remember list, the pop operation, it gave us the option to send an index to pop the item from. Let's use that one and say, let us say we want to pop the item at index 2. So let's look at what is happening here. At position 2, at 0, 1, 2, we have 23. We can pop that element there, and now we print the list. We notice that 2 is removed from the list. If you look back at the definition, pop here is operating in a similar manner to the remove function. Okay, similar. You can see there can be difference with it. So that is the pop element there. The other method I want to explain is the sorting method. It's not really the best example to use with X there because X is already sorted. So I'm going to use the reverse method first. As you can see here, it reverses the element in the list. So I reverse the element in the list. Now I have 67, 25, and 1. And then now is a good opportunity to sort the list. And now we sort the list. We can see that we put the list in ascending order here. So I have a play around, look at all the methods that are defined on list, think how we can use these methods, and that's the list ADT. Thank you.